Hi, good morning, Senator Shelby. Thank you so much for taking some time to talk with me today. I am very excited to have an opportunity to kind of not only educate you a little bit about what my group of stakeholders is trying to accomplish in our great state of Alabama. So I do represent a large group of stakeholders, and you're probably thinking, what kind of stakeholders am I referring to? And they are parents with adult children or adult people with disabilities who want to live in affordable, inclusive housing. So what we're trying to do is redefine what affordable, inclusive, and accessible housing means. And first of all, it's not housing for people with disabilities. It's affordable housing that is accessible and inclusive. So we have been on a large campaign in our area to bring some real estate developers to the table, to bring people like you to the table, and to bring our Birmingham Housing Finance Authority to the table, the decision makers that are determining how our affordable housing is being built, where it is being built, and if it's inclusive or not. So our approach is three-pronged. First of all, affordable to us means that you are not only meeting the moderate income level housing folks, but you are also taking that 20% of our people who are on SSI that cannot afford housing because their current SSI checks, it would require them spending almost 100% of their SSI check for housing. So that's the first prong to our approach. The second prong is accessible. And accessible just doesn't mean being able to get into a doorway. Accessible means if you have a person with a vision impairment, there is signage and abilities for that person who lives in that apartment community to be able to access their community and their green space. So our accessibility means accessibility for all, not just people with disabilities or as a wheelchair user, but for all types of disabilities. And the last approach to us is what we call inclusiveness, and that's just the operations of how our community would operate, what kind of programming and what kind of supports we would partner with the actual community to help bring the supports to the people who need supports and want to live independently in their particular apartment. So it creates a space where people like my son, for example, who is 22 years old, he's nonverbal and he's a power chair user, would have an opportunity to live in an inclusive apartment community and have options for who he wants to be around, who he wants to come visit him. He would bring his own supports, but yet be supported by the affordable housing community. So the affordability in our state is not reaching the needs of our people with disability. Affordable housing is not meeting the criteria that other states are doing, and the funds are there, but it is not being developed in our areas. I would be glad to introduce you to some real estate developers that are interested in building this type of communities that our stakeholders are trying to build. And if you would allow us, we would like to set up another meeting in order for you to sit down at the table with your fellow voters and understand that this is a real thing that can be done, and we can access plenty of funds that are available from the federal government and from the state level to actually build these affordable, accessible, inclusive communities. And I look forward to following up with you on this and hearing from you very soon. Thank you.